is Friday, the 13th of March, 2020, and my school got shut down yesterday because of the coronavirus. This is it's not breaking news anymore, but it did happen yesterday. A lot of schools around my area, a lot of colleges and universities are shutting down because of coronavirus, are sort of sending kids home, getting kids off campus. All of them have these sort of pages on their websites to keep their communities informed about what's going on. This isn't too unexpected. It was Harvard shut down, and Columbia, and I think Princeton as well. So this isn't entirely new, but it's still a little bit of a shock to see the notice. Not really, though. So what's going on is today's Friday the 13th. Brown's spring break is in 2 weeks at the end of March. So what they're going to do is basically make the transition to remote learning. So people are going to be posting lectures and stuff online for their students for the next 10 days until March 22nd is when everyone's supposed to be gone by. Things are a little bit chaotic right now. So all academic instruction is going remote on March 30th. By March 22nd, everyone who lives in the dorms and lives on campus has to be out. There are some exceptions, and that is a big point of contention right now. So this is where it gets really interesting. Changes in class schedule. So for the week of March 16th, which is starting on Monday, all of the undergraduate and graduate classes are canceled, resuming online March 30th. And then basically between the 16th and the 30th the 16th and the 22nd is when the dorms are going to be clearing out. The special events have sort of been up in the air for a while. That was the first thing that sort of got canceled. So it looks like spring weekend is probably canceled, which sucks for this year's seniors. Athletic events, Brown funded travel, study abroad, that was the first thing to go. So the thing that is a little bit of a point of contention right now is kicking everyone off campus when they don't have anywhere to go. And this isn't just a Brown issue. There's other schools as well. Like there's a BuzzFeed article from the University of Dayton in Ohio. And it's this problem of kids have to find flights, kids have to figure out, how to store their stuff, how to move home with very little notice. Brown at least kind of gave us about 10 days notice, but it's tough. And also there are kids who come from overseas, kids who come from China and from a lot of other places who either can't get home or, there's no flights. There's also worry about international students and visas for some kids. If they leave, then they can't come back. So all that's up in the air right now. So this is really going to test also how well we can set up working online, sort of quote working from home. There are sort of internet programs that, especially for colleges, people are going to use to post lectures and stuff. No one, this has never happened before, so we're not really sure how it's going to play out exactly, but that's going to be an interesting thing. Some professors, especially in the sciences, are already used to kind of filming their lectures and posting them online. It's something that they've done anyways, just to help students study and whatnot. What is going to be a little more new is having to deal with interactions completely virtually. There are other programs that Brown uses, like Zoom, and Canvas is our kind of main online hub of everything where we can find our coursework. It shouldn't really affect the coursework situation because most of our coursework we post online anyway, so, if you write a paper or something. I think the libraries are going to stay open, so for grad students and people who need books in the library and resources in the library, but For the kids who are really leaving and going back home to, wherever they're going, usually pretty far away, I think they're going to bring their textbooks. I think the Brown Bookstore is working with them so they can bring the textbooks that they've bought from the university and stuff, but I'm not sure how that's going to work, whether they can bring them back. One of the big things is no one really knows when this is going to end, so this could go until April, this could go until May. No one's really sure. I think kind of the soft, almost worst case scenario sort of end date for this would be for the rest of term. So then it's just going to go from here right into summer break. So that's something else that they're talking about. One thing that's great, though, is if you go online for Brown, there's a lot of resources out there. So Reddit, a lot of schools have their own subreddit. And for Brown, there's, someone posted about people who are sort of caught out in the situation, people who need to store their stuff, people who might not have a place to go, people who need to move off campus who might not have any other options, especially at this short notice. So some people are raising money. Other people have a Facebook group set up for sharing resources, housing, transportation, storage, food, all that sort of stuff. So that's helpful. And the university is supporting this too. And students working within the university are supporting this too. So that's sort of an update. If you haven't been able to tell already, I'm from Rhode Island, and Rhode Island did have one of the first cases on the East Coast. And I'm not completely sure of the situation right now. There was a study abroad trip to Italy from one of the secondary schools, I believe, and that's how the first cases got here. So there's cases here, there's a couple of cases in Boston, and sort of, so this entire area is sort of being very alert.